Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 45 of Controllers and Coffee. My
Wow.
name is Elliot Porter, and I am joined, as always, by the very colorful, the wonderful Kat Gerritsen. What is
Yo.
up?
Oh, well,
What's up?
clearly you can tell what's up is that my camera wasn't working, but that's fine.
That is fine. It still looks great. So we just can't see your name back there, but we can see it in front of you. Tonight, we have so much to talk about. We've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy, which we are going to cover. Laz in the chat, I know, has just started it, so no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Which is going to be tricky because there's so much to talk about, although it is one that we could potentially talk about story in another video. We're going to talk about Elden Ring because there is gameplay out in the world. And my lord, does that game look splendid.
So
and
exciting.
Of course, it's probably the most exciting week of the year for me because Forza Horizon 5 just released. Well, it actually released today, but it's been in early access for the last few days. And it is something else. It really is. So we're going to talk about that too. But let's kick off with what you've been playing, Kat. I don't know. What do you want to start with? We can start with Guardians if you want.
I think we got to start with Guardians.
Playing a bunch of games. Let's start with Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. We spoke about this a few weeks ago when I hadn't played it because I was in quarantine. And I picked it up and I am now in chapter 13, 12, something like that.
Story.
Bloody hell, it's good. It's so good.
It's so good.
I have nothing but good things to say about that game. Combat is fun. It's like nothing. It's not like the best combat in the world, but it's still super enjoyable. Just gives me full on similar vibes to Scarlet Nexus.
Really? Nice.
Yeah, because in Scarlet Nexus, you're combining your powers with your teammates, but it's a little bit different. But like even their picture comes up on the screen when you use them, like they do in Guardians of the Galaxy, where it like pops up when you choose like Gamora or whatever. Story is great. It's really sweet. I like how it's like it like kind of gives focus to each of the characters throughout the story. Like they all have their own little story beat. And obviously Peter's is like throughout the whole thing. Very clever. And it's bloody beautiful. It looks so nice. I don't think I've, at least recently, I don't think I've ever seen a game that has such diverse environments. Like every single level,
everywhere you go is so different.
Completely different. Yeah. And like super alien. It's clear that they were like, art director would have been like, well, we're on random ass alien planets. Let's make this as weird as physically possible. And it's so good. You've finished it.
Yeah.
Tell me about your thoughts on it after finishing the game. And what do you think?
I absolutely loved it, like the whole way through. There were a couple of points late in the game where I felt like I was doing non-stop fighting. Mm-hmm. I was still moving forward, like through areas, but it was just fight after fight after fight, which was obviously to build like the suspense and like show how big of an army has been amassed and all that sort of stuff, which is absolutely fine. But that was the only part in the game where I was like, had any feeling other than this is amazing, you know? But that was mostly because I wanted to go to the next bit. So not bad at all. The ending is so weird, but cool. So good. Like it's just like so much goes on, thing after thing after thing. I'm like, what is happening? And at the end, like I finished playing it and I was like, I want to go back and play it again. Like I haven't because you can replay each chapter, but anything you unlock in those chapters doesn't count towards like a completion or anything like that. So I was like, oh, I'll have to play the entire game again if I want to try and like do the completionist stuff, like finding, scanning everything, collecting everything sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And also I had just finished it. So I decided I'd pop it down and I'll probably play it again because it's not incredibly long, but it is really good. And after I played it, I did jump on Twitch and watch some more of it while I was just doing some other stuff. And I saw a lot of like, I guess it's not really different stuff, but like completely different scenes than I'd experienced because of choices that I'd made and stuff.
Okay,
and I was like, that's really cool. So I'd like to play it again and try and consciously make like different choices, and see how that evolves. I know that there are some choices that can affect things that happen at the end of the game, but I don't know what my other choices would have led to. So it's interesting. I will play it again at some point, I think.
Yeah, it's really well done it'll be really interesting to see how other decisions work, because like it feels like every decision you make is just so smoothly, like it doesn't feel like, oh, I've made this decision, therefore this has happened. It's kind of like, there's certain sections where you like get kind of everything you're meant to say, you get right. And it's like, you've done, you've helped do this thing without,
you've given someone something to think about. Those are the only points where I'm like, that's like, there was one point in the game where that happened and it said you've given someone something else to think about, and I thought that's coming back for me.
Yeah. And I think that's really cool. I'd love to see how that works out, and maybe that's why it's like they don't give you the option to just replay missions as well, because there's potentially more going on under the hood. Like it's not as kind of deep as maybe like a Mass Effect, but it still feels like
it's
what you're saying in conversation actually has an impact on the story, which is really cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, right. Like that's what I thought when I was playing it. Like the conversations that you have are a lot deeper about the characters, and like their opinion of you and their interactions matter a lot more than I thought they would. It's really cool, especially when like this isn't really spoilerish because we saw it in the gameplay trailer. You know that section on that planet where Drax throws Rocket across the gaps? Well, I didn't let him do that. And throughout the rest of the game, like they were making jokes about it and calling back to it. And like, even though that's like so little and obviously like a binary choice, the continuation of the joke, like right until the end of the game, fantastic. Like it just made it feel a lot more impactful.
I did let him throw him, and I don't know if Rocket is always this angry, but he is very mad, and it like I don't know if it impacted the story or if it was just how the story was going to go anyway, but like there's a bit towards where I am now where it kind of comes back up again as well, and like so there's clearly like I don't know if a whole part of the story happened because I decided to do that. I think it's just like a story beat. Like
there is a part of the game.
It's hard to say without spoilers, but
there is a part of the game where, for me,
Rocket's mad.
Rocket's mad, but I talked him out of doing whatever he was gonna do. He's just like, all right. Well, whatever, and doesn't do it, sort of thing. So maybe if it's the same spot, then you did get a whole thing that I didn't necessarily see, because there's sections I've seen, and like, none of the game's really a cut scene, but like cut scenes that I've seen that were completely different to mine, even from like the very start of the game. They at the start of the game you make that choice of what to hide.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and I saw someone else who made the opposite choice, and I saw a completely different screen, like, what am I saying? A completely different like cutscene. I'm like, I don't even know how you got to be in this scenario for this cutscene, let alone like what's going on within the cutscene. Like, what? So
yeah, because there is, yeah, I chose to hide something, and then like one of the things, and then later on it was like, oh, because we hid that, now we can do this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if like how, because that was a major story thing later on. I don't know how different that would have been, but that's a really good. I might after I finish it, because I definitely would play it again, but it's like I kind of want to see those bits and just like
Yeah.
look up what would be the differentiating
Yeah, that's why I want to
parts.
I'd like to do a complete other playthrough, and just it's hard though because I find it really hard to choose choices that I wouldn't make. Like, I find really
Oh,
hard to play games
absolutely.
as the bad
Yeah.
guy. I'm like, I don't want
Yeah.
to say that mean thing. Like, so
That's
it'll
my
be
problem
hard
with
this
Mass
time.
Effect. It's like, oh, I'm going to play this again. Oh, I'm going to say all the things I've said 8 times already, and like find it really hard to be mean to my crewmates. So,
Yeah.
the I really love the combat, like the simplicity of like the leveling up system. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's good that it's not like super complex and like you're creating builds or anything like that. I think it's just cool that it's simple and you've got like, 3 or 4 attacks for each person. But it does get really hectic at times where like you have to use everybody, and then you're like juggling, the different elements that you've got on your gun, and,
I find that really
some enemies.
difficult.
Yeah, I fuck up what one I'm choosing like repeatedly.
Yeah, constantly.
Like
And
I just got the fire one.
yeah, I almost never use my own abilities. I found
Yes, yeah, I forget.
yeah,
all the time.
most of the achievements or the trophies that I didn't get at the end were the ones for like using an ability X amount of times, or like finishing people with this ability or that ability, because I just was like, forget my abilities. I'm using everybody else's.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost, they're like secondary anyway.
Yeah.
Some of the combat, like there's some quite long combat sections, and it's like, the guys who are vulnerable to electricity come out, and then the guys like alongside them they're vulnerable to
The
ice,
frosty
and
ones,
it's like,
yeah.
oh my god, it's like you're constantly like changing it up.
I find
But I
that
think it's
difficult
clever.
to me.
It can
Yeah.
be a bit hectic sometimes because you're like having to dodge incoming fire and then like manage all these buttons, which is what reminds me of Scarlet Nexus, because there's a lot of like holding a button to bring up another thing to use someone's attack. And it's funny that they've come out like so close to each other. They're such different games, but they have these real similar elements of combat.
Yeah.
It's good. It's fun.
Yeah. I think it's also very interesting. Like, I watched some people play some sections of combat and they just get really stuck there. They're spending a really, really long time in these fights, and they're like, God, this is hard. And everyone in chat's like, wow, this looks really, really hard. I'm like, dude, I did not experience that at all. Like, even though I know I personally struggled with the switching of the like elements and things like that, and I didn't really use everyone else's abilities to their max. I found the ones that I liked, and I just normally repeated those because, if I'm waiting for a full recharge, why wouldn't I use the one I like as opposed to these other abilities that they have?
Yeah.
And yet,
some with much shorter cooldowns than others.
exactly.
As well.
Yeah. And then I would watch someone else stream it and they'd just be stuck in this one spot. I'm like, I had no problem there. Same difficulty and everything. And like, I'm like, wow, like it's interesting. I think the combat itself, because there are so many different aspects to it, can lend itself to people having a really different time when they're playing the game.
Yeah, I don't know what it was I was watching. I think it might have just been a review or something. Or maybe it was Digital Foundry. But like, they weren't using the abilities of their crew at all. And I'm like constantly using their abilities. I'm like constantly firing and
I'm using the AoEs
AoEs
constantly. I'm like,
yeah, like
one with
rockets,
Groot with the
bomb,
big thing, rockets,
oh
bomb.
yeah,
Gamora has the
anything that
one where she
sends them
stabs
up in
behind
the
them.
air.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, just give me the AoE ones. I don't want any singular damage. Unless there's a boss. That's it.
Yes. Yeah. One of those big robot boys.
Yeah. So good though.
And the bosses, some of the bosses are really fun as well. Like, give me like old school God of War vibes where you're like,
yeah,
just up against this monumental thing.
Yeah, I heard someone talking about how difficult that first monster boss fight was.
Right. The
Monster Queen.
The squid thing, yeah.
Yeah. I did not find that hard at all. But
no.
I really enjoyed that like old school mechanic, like get them to do this, then you get to do that. I don't know, it's just not something that you really see in a lot of games right now. So like the whole of the game had this sort of novelty to it because of that. Really enjoyable.
Yeah. I can't get over like how good it is to play a game that like is just leading you down a path. There's no side quests. The only like you can talk to your crew when you're on the ship, but it's
and
limited.
You can collect stuff on your levels.
Yeah, and it's like outfits and some components so you can level up some basic things. Like it's kind of like stripped back. Like there's not a lot really to think about, although you are exploring a little bit when you're on these missions. But it's such a breath of fresh air to not be like, and it's weird. It really reminds me of Mass Effect 2. Like Mass Effect 2, like obviously it's got more like this is more linear, but like some of the missions in Mass Effect 2 are literally like you're dropped on a planet and you have to go from A to B to C to D. Like there's certain beats, but it's kind of leading you down like a small level. It's not that open, but in Mass Effect, obviously, in between, there's a lot more other things to do. But like some of the quest design is really similar to Mass Effect 2. And I think that's one of Mass Effect 2's biggest strengths is like its level design is like really highly refined. And that's what I like about this as well. It's like so well designed. Like you're going down this certain path, there's set pieces, there's this conversation that, like you said in our last episode, like they never shut the fuck up. And I think it's a good thing because there must be so many lines of dialogue in this game. And it's only when you like are maybe exploring too much or you're in a fight for too long that you hear the same piece of dialogue said more than once. But usually it's just like this constant stream of conversation to the point of like there's times where I've gotten to a bit and it's like they're obviously designed to say something else and they stop saying what they were saying before. And it's like there's so much conversation that you can't even get through all of it as you're walking around. It's excellent. It is so good. You were not wrong about them yelling all the time, though. Like
they just scream,
especially during combat. They're just yelling at each other so much.
Absolutely, just like belting it out. Like it's not a high scream. Like it's real. Like like will you get over here? Like, but it's so good. The narrative as well. Like obviously as a linear game you'd want to have a strong narrative, but I don't know, sometimes in a game like this I feel like I can get stuck into this mindset of like, now I got to go here and now I got to go here and I just walk to the end and now I got to go here, but it never feels like that. It always feels like what you're doing has like significant meaning and like is necessary to move the story forward.
Yeah. And I think the different environments help that because you never feel like, oh, I've got to go back to this stupid place. Like I've only returned to one place once, but it's kind of at a different time. So it's not in the same state as it was the first time. Like, and I think that stops it from feeling like you're repeating stuff. And the fact that like, there's no quest There's no
There's
quest
no faff.
markers. There's no map. Like it's just you just are walking essentially in a straight line all the time,
You're just
listening to
moving
these
forward.
really nicely designed, well thought out characters talk to each other for 20 hours, you know, and it's so good. It is really like more games should look into the past like this and do this kind of thing, because it's like it's exactly what kind of the Avengers should have been. Like,
if the Avengers was that would have been fantastic. Imagine like the 6 of them just arguing faff for 20 hours. Like, would have had
and in something like that, like, you know, I like in this that you only play as Star-Lord. In an Avengers game, if it was like linear, it'd be cool if like each mission you were made to play as a different character and you kind of led the story in that, like if it was their important part of it. Like that would be so much more interesting. But I like in this because, you know, you are the human in the team, which kind of makes sense. And then you're surrounded by these really interesting characters that have all these story beats as you go through the game that are really, really interesting. And I think it's like, it's so much fun. It's like some of the side characters are just fantastic. One especially that I know we spoke about. Just the best. So interesting. Good. And it gets really weird. And I love that about like franchises like this that can just do weird shit. They're not grounded in reality. They're like universe spanning stories. There's no limit to what something can be. Like, you know, like the world mind, is it? Like that's just incomprehensible, but like it just is a thing. And why not? And I fucking love that.
It's really interesting because like in it they kind of talk about how it's incomprehensible and that it doesn't make sense, and that like other things make sense because it doesn't make sense.
They're like talking about like how that's a magic, and then like something else is like incomprehensible, and the world mind's like, yeah, but you know what we do isn't magic, and they're like, well, it's the same thing. Like
it's the same
though. And like the planet I'm on at the moment is just like wild. Like
the
ice planet,
deep icy one. Oh my god! I just wanted to bring up that point because I was gonna say like at the start of the game, Drax has this like hyper focus, and it kind of becomes a joke. You're like, we're not doing the thing you're hyper focused on, Drax. You idiot! Like, you should stop talking about that. And then later when it comes up again, I'm like, wow! I was so happy. Like, it's really good the way like there's so much like foreshadowing, and you know, but also so many red herrings. Like they just talk about absolute shit all the time, so you can never know if something someone's mentioning is actually gonna happen or if you're just talking absolute crap and you're never gonna hear about that thing again. Like, oh god, it's good. It's really so really good.
It really is. It is a must play. I have to just put Forza down for a minute and just finish it because I know I'm like probably 3 to 4 hours away from the end of the game. I think there's like 17 chapters or something.
I think so, And I think I don't know if it's a part of chapter 17 or like an epilogue or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I figured there would be. But yeah, I love it. It's a really great game. I highly recommend it to anybody, really, because it's just such a nice game. And
I agree.
The huddle thing is just so
it's so good. It's so stupid, good. But it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, and I don't think like anything like that has ever been done in a game. Like I know you can do like, you know, limit breaks or like anything mechanically that has been done before, but like they just run up to you and like stare you in the face.
It's so weird that they're like all staring you in the face, but like it's like really encouraging at the same time.
Yeah. And all you got to do is like say the right thing and you're sweet. But when you say the wrong thing, it's still hilarious because you still get a buff. But like they're like, what are you talking about?
I never said the wrong thing.
Because I like vagued out when they were talking. I was like looking at my phone. I was like, oh shit, I don't know what they said to me.
But
And
it
I
says
just
the
said something.
words in the background. What are you on about? You can't
Yeah,
read.
I was just like not paying attention.
Just faffing.
And Kimura's like, what are you talking about, Peter? and
That's
I think
too funny.
Drax was just like, oh.
I honestly, like, I got really late into the game and I was like, I wonder if they're just slightly less enthusiastic when you get it wrong. Because
Yeah.
I never got one wrong. They were always like, yeah, let's do it.
Oh, it's so good. No, it is an absolute cracker of a game. Highly recommend.
It's fantastic.
All right. What else have you been playing?
I jumped back into Animal Crossing. I've been playing a little bit of that.
New update.
Update?
Yeah. Froggy chair.
I want a froggy chair. I want to plant some crops and go to some islands. I found some vines yesterday and I put them on my island. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, on one hand, I'm having a good time. But on the other hand, I'm like, what am I doing here? How have I spent so much time in this game and why am I spending more time here? Like, in one way, it just feels like a waste of my life. But at the same time, I love to just run around my island and do absolutely fucking nothing. Like, it's not like I'm working on anything. I'm not achieving anything. There's nothing to do. But I am having a good time. Nice. And the other thing
you haven't got the DLC, but it's just that. Is this a free update?
Just the update, yeah. I didn't get the DLC because, like, I don't want to go to another island and then just I don't want to decorate other people's houses that I'm like, what the?
Is that what that's about? Yeah,
I don't want to do that. Fuck that shit. Like, I barely want to do what I'm doing now, and yet I'm still having fun when I do it. Like, I don't understand. Very weird relationship with that game. But more fun. I've been playing the new season of Apex. They released a new hero called Ash, and she's like a robot lady. Cool. And finally, I'm okay at the game. I'm not going to say I'm good, but this hero finally, or this legend, fits me, you know? She's got an ability that, like, chucks a grenade. I fucking love grenades. And, like, I don't have to arc it. I can just throw it straight, and it sort of slows them down a little bit so I can hit them a bit easier because I'm really bad at aiming. So, you know, that's really helped. And the new map is really nice. Like, it's like a tropical beach type area for a lot of it. And it has, like, animals on it that you can fight as well. So that's been cool.
Sick. Full new map, like whole new... Or is it just a new? Yeah, cool.
New map. So the fourth map. They don't have many, but that's okay. It's massive, but it has been really fun to play as the new character. Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
That's awesome. Very cool. Anything else before I go on about a game you probably don't care about?
No, I want to hear about it because I'm going to download it so I can play a little bit and tell you how I feel about it. But
so good.
You got to tell me about it. Tell me what I'm going to feel.
You're going to feel... I tell you what, you're going to feel something when you listen to the intro music because it is like, it's so nice and it's got these beautiful, like, cinematic shots across Mexico as it plays this really nice instrumental song.
I do love the instrumentals.
It's got me in the feels. Yeah, and it's like, I think it's a Mexican artist or something because it's like got some really nice Mexican vibes in it, and it's so good. But we are talking about, of course, Forza Horizon 5. And holy moly. I know I was really hyped for this game, and I know I'm probably just like so... biased because I'm a huge fan of this series to begin with.
I believe that you're biased. I do believe that.
Absolutely. Like, no hesitation, I am biased when it comes to Forza. But it is just like, it's as good as Forza Horizon 4 in every way that Forza Horizon 4 is, but better in also every way. It's like
every way.
Better location. Mexico is just stunning. Like, when they didn't choose Japan, I was like, man, that sucks. I would love Japan as the, because it's such a car culture country.
Yeah.
But man, Mexico's just got some wild locations.
Tropical zones.
Tropical zones. They've got like this like beautiful like jungle with all these like Mayan temples and stuff like that,
which I fucking love.
Yeah, so cool. Mini Yeti in the comments is saying Forza Horizon 5 is the best Forza Horizon. Absolutely, by far. And like, I think every new Forza Horizon is the best Forza Horizon because, like, as much as I love the Australia one and Forza Horizon 3, 4 was still better. And it had the seasons. And now this has got seasons as well, but because it's Mexico and it's like right on the equator, they're different seasons. So at the moment it's spring, but it's actually the hot season. And then there's wet and stormy and
when does that change?
Else.
Like with real life seasons?
Every Thursday.
Oh, okay.
At like that makes 1 in the morning. Yeah. So once a week it swaps over to the new season. So at the moment it's the hot season. I was driving around today and I was thinking, I wonder, because there's this area where I was driving where it's like the road is here and I'm driving through like a dry creek bed. I'm thinking that's going to be because there were bits in like 4 where there's a massive lake, but in winter it was frozen, so you could drive on the lake and there were races on the lake and stuff like that. So I'm driving around thinking, what's this going to look like in like the wet season or the stormy season? I can't remember what the 4th one is, but like, holy shit! Like this on Series X, this is just like blows my mind how good this game looks. It like the lighting is incredible. It's just like screenshot material.
You know what? It'll be a good test for me because I've been really looking at this 3080 Ti that I want to get, and it's a hot $3,000 on sale. So we'll see how this fares on my PC, and if it's hot trash, then I might just have to buy
it. It really is like, for me at least, because I haven't played Resident Evil obviously, but it's like the first next gen looking game that I've played on my console. Like Guardians looks incredible, but it's like
but it's not.
This is on this other level, and I was playing it for the first couple of days in quality mode, which is like I think I haven't watched any Digital Foundry to know these numbers for sure, but I'm going to assume 4K 30 frames, and then I switched it over to quality to performance mode, and just it running in 60 frames is just like, it looks so fucking nice in motion. And like the graphics still look incredible. So I don't know what the trade-off is in resolution, but my Lord, it looks so nice. But there's like so many quality of life improvements over 4. Like in 4, you have one Horizon Festival, which I think is that was new for the series. Usually you're going around and setting up a new festival for each area. In 4 there was just one, but then there were heaps of showcase events and stuff. In this, you start with one, but there's like 5 or 6, and you're doing these adventures, and it's like a story mode. And as you earn accolades, which are and it's like you're constantly doing it. Like you will have to do some. You don't really have to do that many races because you can get accolades by doing like almost anything. Just like you know, speed traps or jumps or, you know, any PR stunt, or even just like driving on a certain amount of roads, you get accolades and you get XP. But as you do the actual adventures, you know, you'll go out into this area and then you'll have to drive a certain car and like go explore a certain area. And there's like certain, like you can find like optional objectives in those areas, and then like you continue the mission and you get more accolades for doing all the optional stuff. But it's like really like well voice acted. It's a little bit corny sometimes, but like the player character has a voice for the first time, and you're the superstar. So like you're the, you know, the champion of Forza Horizon 4, and you've come over to Mexico after Horizon 4.
Yeah, you're the celebrity.
So like, you're pretty much a celebrity. Yeah. Oh, you're a bit frozen.
As are you.
There we go. I saw you. Oh God. And yeah, so like you're meeting all these new people and going around and doing all these missions, and it's super fun. Each, like there's a road racing one, a cross country one, a street racing one, and a rally one, which are kind of like the main 4 types of races, and then there's a PR stunts one as well. And each of those has its own massive race at the end of it. There's like, I did a race yesterday that was like 20 minutes long, and it was 55-kilometer race. Yeah, it was huge. And I stupidly upped the difficulty. It's because if you're on a certain difficulty and you win a lot, always in Forza, it says like, "How you're winning all the time? Do you want to go up a difficulty?" So I did, and I came like 8th in that race, and I was like, I just wasted 20 minutes of my life. Good sucker.
Have you been to all the areas yet that they've showcased?
I think so. There's certain there's like a thing where it's like areas explored out of 56 or something like that, and I think I've done about 40 or 38 or 40 out of those 56. But I've been on a fair amount of roads. I think I've already been on like 300 out of the 578 roads on the map. I've played Guardians of the Galaxy for about 18 hours, right? And I got this on the 5th. Let's see how long I've played this for.
Yeah, all right. What's your favorite?
And it's like, oh, it's just so good. Sorry?
What's the best zone? Which zone is most enjoyable?
I really like the desert, where the desert like meets the ocean. There's like this super tropical, like there's like a hotel, and like I just bought like a $2 million house and stuff right up there, like on the map, where it's like right on the ocean, and then like desert there. It's super pretty, but then like the jungle tropics is just like unreal. It's so
Why do you buy a house? I don't get it. Why is there house buying?
You get bonuses for buying properties. So like this one lets you fast travel anywhere on the map at any point in time, whereas if you don't own the house, you can only fast travel to the festival sites.
Okay.
So it allows me just to go, I want to fast travel
everywhere faster.
The race. Right. Yeah. Although the driving is just so much fun that sometimes fast traveling is just a convenience, like in case I have to drive like 20 Ks to get across the map.
Yeah.
But there's just so much to find. Like I'll just, set a marker and start driving, and there's like bonus boards that you get like extra XP or reduces the cost of fast travel. And then there might be like a speed trap there, and you get that, and then you get more XP, and then when you get enough XP, you get a wheel spin, and then like you win a free car when you do the wheel spin. It's just like you're constantly
free car.
It's just this dopamine hit like every minute or so.
Everything you're doing,
so like, good.
I'm achieving so much.
Super enjoyable. Exactly. It's like just like it's nonstop. And then I'll be like, I need some
home design. I'll come into your house and design your Forza home.
Hey, that could sell. Nintendo wouldn't be down for that though. You know that.
No, they don't like to share their IPs. That's illegal, Laz. And please remember that.
They don't.
No more silly suggestions.
They don't like to share their IPs. But everyone shared their IPs with Nintendo for Smash Brothers, but not the other way around.
No. This is a one-way street.
It's excellent. I know that it's getting insane reviews.
I've heard such fantastic things about it.
And what's crazy is, right, so I've been playing it since the 5th or whatever, because I bought the premium pass, which is really cool. Usually it's like you have to buy the premium edition of the game to get 5 days early access, but also the DLC when it comes out. So the expansions and the car pass, so you get cars like throughout the year. Time, obviously, because Game Pass is such a draw for Microsoft, they've released like a premium pass where you can just play the game on Game Pass. You don't have to buy the full game, but you can spend, it was $63 Australian. So it must be 70, but you get 10% off. And you get the 2 expansions, and you get to play early. And they've already hit 1 million players before the release of the game. So like people like that's, I think
that's all
that goes to show that like people are really excited for this game. The player numbers are going to be insane, I think, when it hits like today.
When it's actually
9 o'clock.
out.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock now, which means like America will be getting it, now-ish.
Wow.
And then across the world, I've been getting it all day. So, yeah, it is epic. It's massive. It's so much fun. There's like 530 cars in the game.
Holy sugar.
Bonkers. And there's this really cool system where like when you get a new car, it'll pop up with like new cars that you've got, and they're like on a card. And as you collect cars, it like ticks them off this list. And if you get every single car for a certain manufacturer, you get a prize. You
I don't
get
know
a
if
gift.
I've even seen 530 cars in my life.
Yes. Right?
And I think about the cars that people drive around where I live. Everyone's driving the same car, just a different color. Like, I've probably seen 40 cars, 530. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. And there's like everything from classic cars to, $5 million hypercars, and just, it's ridiculous. It's so fun. And this is why I can't, I haven't finished Guardians yet, because I'm just like, in the morning before work, I'm like, I got half an hour to kill. I'm going to drive around in Forza. It's so fun.
And how much time did you say you'd spent in Forza?
18 hours already.
Oh, easy. Same as Guardians.
Yeah, exactly. In 5 days.
It's a fair share.
Which I've been at work as well, and I had to go out today. So, I'm just like itching to play more. Just got the itch.
Amazing.
It's fucking good. Definitely play it.
Give it a go.
2 big old recommendations this episode. Like, goddamn.
Well, I used to love Need for Speed, and that's the only other racing game I've ever played. So I'll give it a try, because I've got baby racing feet. I have not experienced anything.
And there's a lot of, difficulty modifiers. Like if you don't want it to be hard, there's like so many ways to make it easier.
I am shit. Turn that
down. But then for people who want it more difficult, the more difficulty modifiers you have turned off, or the higher the AI difficulty, the more money you make as well, which has always been a thing in Forza. So you can really customize it. Yeah. And just a shout out to Seasoned Gaming, because our club is in the top 100 in the whole world, which is amazing. So
I'm joining that club. Steve. I'm going to bring the average down.
I think it's funny. I was looking at the leaderboard today, and the team that's on top, they do have 2,000 members, whereas we only have like 100.
Wow.
They have like 4 billion accolades, and the crew in second place has like 1 billion. So it's like they're just long gone. No one's catching it. I don't even know how they've managed.
Jesus.
That's insane. I don't know who they are, or like why they're just killing it so much. But yeah, that's Forza. It's amazing. If you have Game Pass, absolutely download it. It's like 100 gig, but worth every bloody kilobyte on your.
It's really interesting. On the PC version of Game Pass, it's rated 2 stars with 97 reviews.
Yeah, I think there's been some issues with PC, like just like not loading past the main screen. Every time I look on Twitter, it's people yelling at Playground Games about it.
Well, that would make sense then, I guess, why it would have such low scores.
And that's fucked if that's the case.
Oh yeah, the game won't launch.
Bloody great.
Crashes constantly in tutorial, meaning you have to loop the intro. I guess. Look, I'll download it, and I'll see if I can play it. If I can't play it, I guess I need that graphics card. Like the launch issue will definitely be because of my graphics card.
Not because Xbox Game Pass for PC is super broken.
No, it's my
I know Steve has had a lot of issues. Look, I can help you convince yourself to get a new graphics card, Kat. That's fine.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I know Steve has had a lot of issues with Game Pass just being a piece of shit. So
all right, I'm
my
prepared.
condolences to PC users. because it's bloody good on Xbox. It's smooth. It's, even quick resume has been working for me, which it hasn't been working a lot for me in general, and it's been working great on Forza and Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Well, I'll still try it. I'll see. We'll see.
Please, let's see. Before we continue, just a big shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for anyone listening and watching the show after the fact as well. If you have questions you'd like us to answer on the show, if you have topics you'd like us to cover, if you'd like to recommend ways to make the show better, send us an email, controllersandcoffee@gmail.com, and we will endeavor to take them on board because we want to make the show better for you. So thanks. And thanks for everybody in the chat. I know there's a question back here from Mini Yeti. This is not really something I know a lot about, but he's saying, do you think Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3 getting removed from digital storefronts has to do with Metal Gear Remake rumors? To be fair, Yeti, I did not even know that this was this is a thing until you brought it up. So, Kat, have you heard about this? Have you got any history with Metal Gear either?
No, I haven't played that shit at all. Not that it's shit, I just mean as in stuff. It's probably great. However, I can understand why people would think this, but at the same time, it also makes no sense. Like, a lot of games get a lot of sales when a remake is coming because people want to play the original before the remake comes out. So why would you remove it from the stores if you're making a remake? Like, what's the thought behind, I need to get rid of this to make my remake? I don't really see any reason why you would remove something from a store if you're remaking it. Like, because you can still just potentially make money off that older one. There's no benefit to removing it. No one's going to be surprised by your remake as in the story beats. Like, you don't need to hide it so that people haven't experienced it before. Like, everyone knows it's a remake. I think more
yeah, that's what I think as well.
Yeah, I think it could more be indicative of maybe like licensing changes or licensing issues with stores. If anything, like, maybe you do have to remove it from the stores because of license changing or whatever, if that has something to do with a remake. But I don't see anything else other than that, just licensing issues. And whether or not that has to do with a remake, it could just be licensing issues separate from a rumored remake and just unfortunate timing.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more about, like, why would you remove the original games? Because wouldn't it be like the time, if you were to announce a remake, it'd probably be the time people would be like, maybe I'll play the old one. I know, like, I was tempted to pick up, and I did buy and just never played Final Fantasy VII when I knew the remake was coming, because I was like, well, I've never played that. I'm going to buy the old one. I played about 2 hours of it, and I was like, no.
Yeah, a lot of people that are big fans of these things just play it in prep, like in the same way that I am playing all the Dark Souls up to Elden Ring. Like, people will play the old game, like people play the old Resident Evils before the remakes came out, like, but I don't see why you would remove it for that. A licensing issue, for whatever reason, now that I can see happening. I see that Steve Esposito, if you want to pop that hot comment up, says that they are being removed to negotiate the licensed footage used in the game. Maybe.
There you go.
But that aligns with what I just said, a licensing issue. Nothing to do... Well, I mean, I guess in this case it is to do potentially with a remake, but, remains to be seen. It is all rumors. It could be that they needed to remove it to fix those licensing issues for a remake, or it could just be another licensing issue.
Yeah, true. And it could be just, what Steve is saying there. Remakes never off the table.
Yeah.
They could still be, doing something. And What blows my mind, like, it's a series I've never played as well, but like Metal Gear Solid 4, like, it's just not available on anything except PS3. And that to me is so strange that it's like why haven't they like I don't know. And I know we tear companies apart sometimes for monetizing shit that, you know, has been around forever, but like, goddamn, bring it out on a new console. Like, even if it's not remastered or anything, like, to have these games like so hard to play, because I know 2 and 3 are even available on Xbox, like one Xbox Series consoles as well. Like, but 4 is just like locked on the PS3 for life. Like, you just cannot play that anywhere else.
Have anything else. What was that game that kind of recently leaked like the internal code and links into other games through their game? I can't remember what it was. But like, people hacked that game and got way more information than they bargained for. Maybe that's why they took them down.
I do not know.
Just hack directly into their servers through that video game, and that's why they had to take them off the storefronts. You know, it could be, you know, a stupid security issue. It could be anything. Like, but a remake is not off the table ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah,
you remember what I'm talking about? It's a vague recollection that I'm having, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't know.
I'm
just, my finger's not on the pulse enough, you know.
Classic. I knew I was the one that kept this place together.
Oh, here we go. Here's it.
It's a good question.
Oh god, my computer's running like shit, so I'm sorry if my audio is all fucked up.
No,
Steve says, I don't know if you covered it, but what do you think about this NFT business? It's over my head. That's all I know.
No, I hate it.
It's all garbage.
I hate it. Fuck that shit. More like, no fucking toodles, thanks, boys. Like, no fucking time for that. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. What bullshit. I just, like, look, on one hand, I understand nothing fucking matters, right? So why not make NFTs? But on the other hand, you're literally burning our planet to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, it's so crazy the amount of energy it uses. Did you see my retweet the other day or week about Bitcoin mining and how much energy it uses?
Yeah, I think I did.
And it was like, talked about batteries and shipping containers on ships and stuff like that. Like, NFTs use so much fucking energy, and also, like, you don't fucking own anything. Like, the amount of, like, copyright
that's the bit that confuses me.
Uploaded like illegally, and then people were buying it and being like, I own it. Like, the artist didn't even upload that, for one, so garbage. But also, like, anyone can print it out. I don't fucking care if you own it. If you want to have the only copy of something, you can just, like, commission an artist and ask them not to share it. Like, you can create that contract so that you have the only piece of art. Like, there are so many other ways to license these things. And I know that NFT gaming is a thing that's in discussion right now. And I think it's a bit also shit, because there is literally no difference. Like, if you just want to put that sort of stuff into gaming, crapola. But I can only imagine that the reason it exists is for high-level money laundering. Why else would I pay, like, thousands, millions of dollars for a fucking line of code that means absolute garbage in the real world? Like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? And burn the earth? Like, once the earth is burnt from all of this energy that you're using, what are you gonna do with your fucking non-fungible token? Like, put it in the bin? Jesus, what a waste of fucking life. Oh my god. People always, because I dabble in the arts, and people are always like, you should make an NFT, you'll make lots of money. Fuck off. Jesus. God. One, it's shit. But 2, I'm never gonna sell one. Like, I'm a piece of trash, and the people that are in this actually selling things are money laundering. Like, fuck that shit. Like, I don't want that. I want money.
That's a good rant. That's
But that's
you've
all.
thought about this way more than I have. So
it's because it was like really, it was more prevalent in the art community than it has been in any of the other communities. And it's just, I have unfollowed a lot of artists from seeing them like delve into NFTs and start arguing about how good NFTs are for people and like, oh, don't believe what you read. It's not actually bad for the environment. Like, how about you fucking try reading before you tell people not to believe what they're reading? Like, Jesus. Oh my God. Wowee.
I love it. So good. Thanks, Steve. That brought out the best. Thanks, chat.
You're so welcome.
All right. Let's talk about something fucking incredible.
Let's
talk
about incredible things instead of fucking shite.
Can someone in the comments just let me know if our audio is entirely fucked? Because my internet is doing weird things and it's driving me nuts.
To me, you sound fantastic. And to me, I sound fantastic. So
yeah. All right, good. That's the main thing. All right. Why is this happening? Here we go. StreamYard.
Those non-fungible token fucking simps are coming after you and wrecking your internet.
Oh, they really are. I don't know what's happening here. Apparently, I can't add in a video. RIP.
No video. Are you kidding me? That's my dream. It's you and me, lads. Here we are. You know what we're all waiting for? Because I'm waiting for it as well. The excitement inside me is immense. Now it really is just me. Well. How the turntables. Oh, yes, you're right. The NFT boys went over to his house and gave him a little 1-2.
Oh my God.
Hello
again. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
The hell. So sorry about the technical difficulties there, people.
We had a good time without you.
Did you go without me? Let's go. Oh, that's good. There it is.
Oh, yes. This is what I want to say.
Yes. All right. It is time.
Can't believe you beat those NFT boys and made it back. Wow.
Oh, no, the NFTs came to get me. We shouldn't have brought it up. Now, this video is definitely going to get a copyright claim, but that's okay. The last one did as well because we showed like 2 minutes of a Batman trailer. Dicks.
Whatever. It's not like we're making mad muns off this anyway. We do it for the love of the people. So
we do. All right. Just give me your thoughts about this game, because this trailer just live up to your hype in every single way?
Oh my God, the Elden Ring hype inside me. I'm so excited. Like, I am at work. I am a bother. Like, I am annoying people with how excited I am. Like, you not believe. Here I am at work, literally rattling the doors. Like, I'm excited. Like, Kendall's like, well, I get it. I got it. I see that you.
Yeah, but have you fucking seen it?
Like, he hasn't, which drives me nuts. Like, I'm fucking losing my mind. I'm like, you're the person here that plays Dark Souls. I am so excited. Everything about this gets me going. Like, what is there not to enjoy? I tell you
that horse has horns, for fuck's sake. Like,
fucking woo. Everything about this is fantastic. Like, I could go through every frame of this shot and tell you something that I'm excited for. But you want to know my number one thing that really got me very excited?
Absolutely, I do.
The traversal. When they're in that dungeon later on, and it's a really dark scene. Sorry, I got burps from how excited I am. When they're in that dungeon and the character's looking down, it's really dark. We're looking at some floorboards, and then he jumps up onto the side of the building, onto like the side of the castle, and walks around this tiny lip of the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm so excited. The amount of times in Dark Souls you're running around, you're like, I wish I could jump up on that. Like, that would help me out so much. And then you can in this game. Like the potential for hidden gems is gonna be insane. I'm so excited. This guy, fucking Alexander the Iron Fist. Oh my god. I am so excited for this pot guy. I'm just everything about this game. I'm so ready. I'm so excited.
I think with the traversal, it has taken so much of clearly what they learned with Sekiro.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of this that, as someone who's never played Dark Souls, but always I've always been intrigued with Dark Souls, but loved Sekiro with so much burning hate and passion.
So much
loved that game so much, and the way you move in that game is one of the highlights. It's like, the stealth is really good, the traversal is super fun. To see all of that within this game is like super exciting to me, because sometimes when I watch gameplay of Dark Souls, it feels quite like laborious or slow and like limited.
Yes,
on
it's
your
very different.
Traversal, and like these every time they change to a different character and they show like a different area, the color palette is just stunning. The
map
diversity of the environments and a map is very cool. I guess for a Dark Souls game, for a Souls like.
Yes.
The enemy types and the bosses are fucking hideous, and just it blows my mind. See you, Yeti. Thanks for watching, mate. Appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I'm enamored by this game. It looks so sick.
It looks gorgeous. Like, also, like the map, like they've told us there's going to be 6 areas, and in that map, it's thought to be 2 areas, and that each area will have 2 Erd trees within it, which is that big gold tree that you see, not the massive one in the middle, but the little ones. I'm really interested to see what fast travel looks like. In all the other games, you have your bonfire or your shrine, whatever, your lantern in Bloodborne. I'm interested to see if it's almost the same in this, where your grace spots are where you can teleport to. We know that you can revive at your grace spots, or you can revive at a stake of Melina. If it's closer to where you died. But I wonder if, to encourage traversal across the open world, like if you can go to any grace location, or if you travel between the Erd trees, or if maybe the Erd trees link to something else. Like, why is there 2 per area? Don't understand it. Like, do they link to a friendly zone? Like, do you know that that's where there's going to be NPCs or something? I don't know. I'm so excited to see everything. I'm so excited. I'm going to spend so much time. My leave got approved for this game, so don't delay it again, because I've booked it in. But
don't do Cyberpunk.
Do that to me again.
That's a really good point. They were very clear to not say really anything about the bonfire things. Like, they didn't say if using the bonfire would respawn all the enemies, because it's being an open world game. It's like, is that going to work differently? By the way, that jump and attack is like straight up Sekiro, and it just gets me so excited. But yeah, I wonder if if that will work a little bit differently than other Souls-like games, where you're traversing an area and then when you go to the bonfire, that resets everybody in that area. I wonder how that will work, because it's a bit different in an open world game, right?
Right, exactly. And like traditionally the bonfires like reset everything, and that's not necessarily something that really works in a system where you have crafting, because then you can, like, one of the things in the crafting screen that we see is a flower, a lily or something, and it says it's exceedingly rare to find. Where if you had grace and sitting down and it like reset the area, then it wouldn't be exceedingly rare to find. You could go and get it again, whether it be from a drop or from a plant growing or whatever it may be. Like, so I think at the very least, these grace locations won't completely reset an area, because they'll need those gates on crafting and things like that. But
especially with like those enemies like that appear to be moving through the world, because when you reset enemies, they backward, like where they are, they kind of have this area that they maybe guard, but they're not moving across the map like that. Carriage with those freaks, like
those
pulling
big
it.
Boys. Like these guys, I could see them easily reset, because they have a set path that they're walking, and that's normal. But to have like the set path be the entire, like a really large area, it would be really weird if you could just sit down and send them back home. And also I don't know, in Dark Souls, that whole burning at the fire, like rebirth thing, sort of helps you explain it away, like everyone's dying and being reborn and completing the same things over and over again,
right,
until like you, as the bearer of the curse or whatever you are in whichever game, like come and change things. And some people are able to move around, but some people are just stuck in their path and repeating, and that's why they come back over and over again. And I don't know, maybe like if you could have still similar themes in this game, obviously, but it doesn't really lend to, like, why would sitting at a grace point send someone back in time to somewhere else? I don't know. Maybe they explain it, maybe they don't, or maybe they just get to continue their path through the world and it doesn't really affect it.
And like that doesn't mean enemies can't respawn like every other game. If you leave an area and come back, potentially they're going to respawn anyway. But also that's a long way to fall.
Full damage, not a problem anymore. I love that.
That's crazy. Do you reckon that's like just part and parcel with the game, or is that something you can level up? Like, because that's a big thing in Dark Souls. I've watched a lot of people fall to their death.
I think maybe just because it's a lot more up and down, the traversal, I think it's a lot more forgiving. But there's also spells that you use in Dark Souls, like soft fall and stuff like that, to make sure, or like you put on the cat ring and it doesn't hurt as much when you fall, that sort of thing. So it could be combination. That last jump is huge.
This is just like, watching this again is just blowing my mind how fucking beautiful this game is. Like, and I think we were talking about this. Maybe I was talking to someone else about it, but like, it's not like,
I love this NPC.
How dare you speak to anybody else about this?
I love his emote. Look at that.
Yes.
So good. I love that emote. I'm going to use that all the time.
So good.
Over here, like, my lord.
It doesn't necessarily look, let's say, inverted commas, next gen. Like, it looks like it's just really good graphics, but it just, the world design is so intricate, and like the lighting looks really cool. Like when he went from having his flame out there to not, it was just like orange to blue.
Ray tracing,
nice. Ray tracing. Yeah. So what did they release? The specs, or the the resolution and stuff like that.
Yeah, they did today. Absolutely. Yeah.
Let's
see, for the ray tracing, you know what I probably need? A 3080 Ti.
3080, yeah, absolutely. I think you do.
I think I do.
Let's go to the IndianExpress.com, who seem to have an article about it. Here we go. On the PS4, and the PS4 Pro. PS4 will be 1080p, 30 frames. PS4 Pro, 1800p, 30 frames. PS5, 4K up to 60 frames, HDR, and supported ray tracing via a patch. And then Xbox One S, 900p, Xbox One X, 4K 30 frames, Xbox Series S, 1440p 60 frames, and Xbox Series X, 4K 60 frames, up to 60 frames, supported HDR and ray tracing on the Series X as well. So pretty interesting. The Xbox Series S is such a little beast,
isn't it?
Considering what that thing is. And on PC, up to a maximum resolution of 4K with 60 frame.
And ray tracing.
Max with ray tracing via a patch. It's pretty sick.
Yeah,
I really
they have these
wish you got
weird...
invited to play this though.
I know, right?
Even though you'd be under NDA and you couldn't talk about it, but
yeah, I signed up for the network test, so I have to keep an eye on if I can get into that. I got into the Dark Souls 3 one, and that was fucking amazing. That was so good. I am over the moon. Like, I'm so excited for this game. Who's this fucker? Seems very untrustworthy. I would have done the same
freaky
thing.
Head man. I love this. It's like, I'm gonna go the front way. They shoot arrows at him. He's like, nope. Just fucking nopes.
The guy seems so untrustworthy. Like,
I know.
It's understandable. But look how big, like, this is one of the dungeons, right?
Yeah.
It's
Running
massive.
Away.
It's so huge.
Yeah,
like,
it's not a dungeon. It is a whole, like...
And that's really exciting to me as well, because, like, we've seen these 2 areas of the map, which looks massive, because they're showing us, like, earlier when they show us the map, they kind of like they're on a cliff, so you can see sort of how far that is, and like get an understanding of how big that area is. But that doesn't account for any verticality with dungeons and like caves and castles and
catacombs and stuff like that where we went before. Yeah,
I'm so excited. And there's like these little islands as well. Like, how do I get to an island? And like on this one part of the map, there's a barrel floating in the ocean. What does that mean? Is there something there? Probably. In a FromSoft game, nothing means nothing, like.
Yeah. In Dark Souls, can you... Oh, that's rough. Can you have multiple weapons equipped and switch between them?
Yeah, you can have 3 in each hand.
Okay.
So we do see... It's interesting because I was trying to pay attention to that, and I saw him switch between 3, and then it cuts to just a tiny bit later on in the footage, and he switches to another weapon. And I don't know if they would have changed his loadout or like this bit here, because he's in the same area.
Switches to that from a sword.
Yeah, so sword to axe to lucerne.
Is that what that thing's called?
Oh, that's what they're calling in Dark Souls. So that's what I believe in.
And then,
back to the sword.
Goes back to the sword.
So that's 3, and then
he.
But the bow could be in the left hand. Like.
Okay, sure.
And he's clearly he's got a torch in the left hand. And then up here he switches to the bow, which is in his left hand. So.
Right.
Yeah,
and
so I guess he's got 3
back there when he's got
that's a torch. That was the torch.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I love how that guy just like grabs him on the head.
So rough.
So good.
And the arms, oh my god, the arms. It's so fun.
Look at that little fucky yucky. Oh. And then a little bit further on, just past here, is the bit I was really excited for. This bit here. Like
blood.
Look at all those ledges. Like, that's the sort of thing, like, in Dark Souls, you'd be like, I wish I could get up there and walk around, and you wouldn't be able to do it. And now you just fucking can jump up there and walk around it. Absolutely
that Sekiro jump right
Look
there.
how huge that fucking dungeon is. It's massive. Yeah. It's absolutely insane.
It's like how intricate the castle, like, design is. It's just wild. Absolutely wild.
They based a lot of their, or in previous games, they've based a lot of their castle designs off real life castles as well. Very cool.
Yeah. Amazing. Welcome, Jimmy, to the chat. Nice to see your name here, man. It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let us know your thoughts about Elden Ring in the comments.
Huge
in the
thoughts.
Chat. Look at this boy. It's Cole from Dragon Age Inquisition.
Everyone's calling him Remarkable Hat Roger. In Dark Souls, you have a character, and the character's name is Big Hat Logan, and he has a big hat. So this is like, I guess, a spiritual successor to Big Hat Logan.
Roger.
Remarkable Hat Roger. It looks great. Like, the outfits look great. That's something as well that like is really exciting. You know, even in Dark Souls 3, like, the outfits look fantastic. But the outfits and the models here for the characters look insane. Like, Roger's outfit, beautiful. Mwah! Look at that. Just jump straight off the edge. It blows my mind. If you're in Dark Souls, you would have to follow that all the way around until you got down there. But in this, just jump off the edge. Insane. Just
so good.
Just nuts. I'm so excited.
And with the announcement of the classes that they showed that photo of, where there's like this boy, and then there's that let's bring it up.
Yes, juicy roofs, Jimmy. Juicy roofs. I think it, from what we learnt with the Dark Souls 3 like network test, is that these characters are probably not starting classes, but just examples of builds that you can make, because they will be leveled and have gear.
Interesting.
So they might be like spiritual successors of what you would be. The Arcane Knight or whatever will be the magic strength type build. And that'll just be a progressed build, so that you're wearing something and using something that allows you to experience the game further on, because they don't want to give you a like an early game experience. They want to give you an experience where you've got enough resources to have an enjoyable time, because the early game is where it's really slogging. Like, it's not unfun to play, but it's just the most punishing time, because you don't have anything that you're wearing or any stats to do anything. So
in Dark Souls 3,
yes,
like, do you choose like a starting
in all
build,
of them,
but
you
it's
choose
not a
your
class?
starting build. Yeah, you choose a starting build, but it locks you into absolutely nothing. It gives you your starting gear, and it gives you starting stats that are slightly different. So like, you'll have, if you're a warrior, you've got more strength and constitution, you have less intelligence and faith, that sort of thing. So I imagine it'll be exactly the same. They show in one of the screens your stats, and they look very similar. They got rid of some and added arcane, which is fantastic. What did they get rid of? A shit stat that nobody liked. So everyone's happy about it. And that's why I don't remember it, because it's shite and nobody wants it.
Yeah. Nice. Man, this dragon arm, dude, it's fucking hectic.
It's really cool, because you can see, if you watch that scene with the fight, at the start of the fight, obviously he's talking to that dragon's head, and then he starts fighting you with all his arms, and halfway through the fight, as you continue on, you can see in the background that the dragon has lost its head, and he's obviously using it for attacks. So he's clearly gone into a second or third phase. And then there's going to be a cutscene where you steal that head, and you can see a character earlier on using that head. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, and some of that magic in that earlier fight, like
the magic looks fantastic.
Raining down. Here we go. It's like raining down lightning. It's like giving me full Dragon Age vibes, in the way like AoE attacks just like scatter the whole screen, which is just mad. Like this, like, look at how the clouds form in the sky. Like, that is so
reminds me of Aldrich, that bastard. I hated his arrows. But yeah, like, the magic looks way better than it has in any of the previous games. Like, magic, when I'm replaying all the Dark Souls now, this is the first time I've played a magic build in all of them. Like, I normally go for a strength build, and then once I've got enough stats, I'll start putting some into magic, and I'll just be piffing around with it. But I've been doing magic builds, and in Dark Souls 1 and 2, it was all right. Dark Souls 3, it's atrocious. It is such a slog. It's so hard. The spells are so slow to cast. You can't cancel them, and they do piss all damage. Like, it's absolute trash. And there's not a huge selection. And because you've got things like you've got intelligence and faith and pyromancy, you can't use all of the spells if you're leveling. Like, there's no magic that you level up. You have to level up in 3 different things to do that. So I've only leveled up in intelligence, and I can only use that set of spells. But it's just, this looks way better. And I heard before we even saw this gameplay that they were putting more energy into spells and making, you know, different forms of gameplay more accessible to everybody, and thereby making it a more accessible game for people that haven't played these sorts of games before. So that's really exciting. They look fantastic. All of them have like this symbolism that they use as well when they're casting. Very exciting.
Very exciting. I'm so glad they released 20 straight minutes of gameplay. Like, this is how you do gameplay as well. It's like, here, have a little taste of it. Nope, on to the next thing. Here, have a little taste of it. See you later.
And it's really good because from what I understand about how these games are built, not like coding or like built from the ground up, but like how the level design and that sort of stuff works, and how the story and the progression works. Like, none of this really seems like it spoils anything at all. Like, walking into a dungeon and finding a chest or finding a trap, normal. All that sort of stuff, normal. This cutscene and the boss fight, those are the spoilery bits, but like, they've already shown that boss, and they already showed that dragon in the trailer, so you're not being surprised. And we already knew about this lady. Surprising that she has boots, though. They normally don't give them boots. You normally see their feet.
There you go. God, you know From Software games so well.
Yeah, people be mad that they can't see the feeties. Not me, because I fucking think feet are disgusting. Yuck. I do not like that. But other people.
That's so funny.
I know this for a friend. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I've seen a lot of discourse about people like,
feet.
Miyazaki, I can't believe you listened to the plebs and the normies and you covered her feet.
Fuck's sake.
Too funny.
Oh, gamers, who are you?
Gamers are funny.
Who are you? Well, I'm excited. I'm definitely going to play it. That's for sure. I'm definitely going to die a lot. But I'm hoping, like,
part of the joy.
I don't know. I'm hoping Sekiro taught me some things. I'm hoping, you know.
It seems a lot faster than, especially Dark Souls, like 2 and 3. Like, there was a big speed discrepancy between them. Then you go into Sekiro, which is so freaking fast. You go back to Dark Souls 3 and you're like, I'm moving like a slug. This looks faster. So very exciting.
Yeah, and I wonder if, like, there'll be the, you know, the ability to make a build that is like faster and, you know,
well, what do we got?
Like a faster sword.
Well, our stats, we've got Vigor, Mind, which I assume is replacing like attunement, Endurance, Strength, Dex, Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane. So those last 3 are probably like what I said before about how you've got Intelligence, Faith, and like a Pyromancy or something like that. So Intelligence, Faith, and Arcane. And those are the only ones. So there's no luck stat, which is fantastic. And then you've got poise brought back. There's a little poise count. Would love that. Love a poise, so I can fucking tell why I'm getting staggered by everything that hits me or not.
Yeah.
Very exciting. And there's a discovery stat as well, so you can tell, obviously, how good you are at getting drops and discovering things.
Mad.
I'm so excited.
That's so thrilling. It is thrilling. I tell you what, next year is going to be loaded with bangers. It's crazy to think within 1 week we're getting this and Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, sorry, Horizon, but you're taking like the biggest backseat of my life.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeti, just to, unless you have anything else to talk about this game about, Kat?
I could talk about it forever, so I won't. Just to save everyone some time.
Yeti does mention that on N7 Day, EA teased a new Mass Effect. Now, Yeti, I don't know if you remember this trailer that came out. Let's see.
A little while ago.
December 2020. Yeah. Okay. So almost a year ago. Very much hinting towards the same thing. There's this shot that they released of like a crater, and there's a ship with like 4 characters standing around it. And
honestly, what else were they saying with this, to be honest? Like,
but there's so much, like, with the picture?
No, with this.
Oh.
Like, I feel like a lot of people seem very surprised about the picture and the team.
Yeah, maybe people forgot about the team.
About? Like,
well, because I think
we already knew.
Yeah, maybe people forgot. I don't know. Yeti, let us know. But like, there's a dead fucking Reaper there, and that's Liara, and that's fucking Shepard's armor. But people have like zoomed in on this picture that they shared, and there's like, looks like armor, like crushed armor. There's a very similar ship to the one in this photo that they shared. We know really the next Mass Effect is coming. But I'll find it.
Show me that picky. I've seen it. I just haven't seen any of this zoom in thing that you're telling me about.
All right, let's go. It's a very small one. It's not the biggest.
No,
picture.
I need a large one. Where's the 4K option?
Oh, they've really zoomed in. Let's go.
Wow.
Only zoomed into the top bit. So there's 4 people here. This looks like Liara. But up here somewhere, it's like in here. So I saw a picture. It was like fully zoomed in, and it's like they'd fixed it up or something like that. But there's like shepherd looking armor.
Nice.
And it also, the crater looks like the head of a Geth, which I think is just symbolism. But yeah. Oh man, so hyped. So hyped. Cool. So N7 day came and went.
As we knew it would. As it does every year.
I'm very excited for what happens for the future of Mass Effect, but I'm just going to let them take as long as they want. If the next Mass Effect comes out on Xbox Series, whatever the next one's going to be called, and PS6,
they got back to the 720.
Yeah, oh my god,
that's the next one. 720.
Just do it, Phil, you pussy.
Yeah, you bitch.
But
Xbox
yes.
Y.
Xbox. Just.
I mean, like the letter Y.
Yeah.
Xboxy.
Well, look, we were going to talk about games that are coming up for the end of the year, but I say we do that next week.
Yeah, I mean,
we're sitting at an hour and a half at the moment.
Yeah,
what a good conversation. Guardians, amazing. Forza, amazing. Elden Ring,
shit.
NFTs, shit. Oh my god. What a time to be alive for gamers, really.
Yeah.
It is so exciting. I am gonna go and play some more Forza before I have to go to bed, but I know I should be playing Guardians.
You know what?
By the next podcast episode, I'm gonna finish it though. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna play Animal Crossing because, as I said, I'm not doing anything, and for some reason, I'm still enjoying it.
Sweet, good shit. Well, Kat, tell us about what's going on your Twitch. What's happening over on twitch.tv/Kapkat? What's happening over there?
Souls Sunday. We've got Souls Sunday. To be honest, I've had a really, really busy few weeks. You know,
I can only imagine with work, to be
yes, it's all work's fault. That is it. Like I've got nothing else but work's fault. And so I've literally only been doing Souls Sunday. So all I can promise you right now is a Souls Sunday. But I am hoping to be able to play some more. Kena Bridge of Spirits physical edition should come out very shortly.
Oh yes, and I have a PlayStation again. Yes, I'm gonna play that.
I'm really excited. I really want to play that. So you know, that's next on the bill. I still haven't finished Eastward, but God, that game's fucking long. It's really good, but fuck, it's long for what I thought it was. So I may play more of that, or you'll find me playing Kena, Bridge of Spirits, maybe if you're lucky, Horizon, Forza Horizon.
Nice. If your graphics card can handle it.
Yeah, if the fucking Game Pass can, you know, deal with it. But you know I'll be there for Souls Sunday. We love a Souls Sunday. We're getting through Dark Souls 3. Will we finish it before Elden Ring? Maybe. Turns out we're really fucking slow at Dark Souls 3. Here I was thinking we'd have to find a new game to play in the meantime, but maybe not. So I'll see you there where you can laugh about how shit I am. Really not good at Dark Souls 3, especially with the magic.
Well, everyone should go over and follow you there, subscribe to you there, give your girl some cash. And Yeti, this is a big question, and I think definitely one we're going to leave you hanging for either next episode or when we get onto our goatees later in the year. There's some bangers there in your list there, Yeti. And there have been some bangers this year, and I'm hoping...
like Psycho Nuts too.
I am Psycho Nuts.
Psycho Nuts.
I'm hoping I can finish more of these bangers before the end of the year, but I know it's getting to that point where I'm kind of just like, I'm running out of time.
Yeah, me too. I would love to play Tales of Arise. Do I have the time for that? No, which is why you need to head over to my Twitch and sub to me. And then I can spend your money to fund my life as I play video games. And that is a responsible way to spend your well-earned dollars.
You heard it here first. Absolutely responsible. Do it. Do it. And come back next week for more Controllers and Coffee. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Kat, for joining me. As always, what a chat. If you are listening to this after the fact and you want to watch the video version of this podcast with all its live stream hijinks and technical difficulties, apparently, head over to youtube.com/directgaming. And if you're watching this version and you want to enjoy our dulcet tones in the car or, you know, in I don't know, in bed or at the gym or taking the dog for a walk, go over to anchor.fm/controllersandcoffee or just search for Controllers and Coffee on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you, everybody in the chat. It's such a nice time to see you all here, seeing some familiar names. Appreciate you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Glad to help you get through the workout. My pleasure. Our pleasure. We'll talk to you all again soon. Thanks, Kat. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya. Okay.
Oh, God, no.
NFTs, goddamn.